Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Let's go start now. A major stable has developed in WWE since WrestleMania. Seth Rollins now leads the group, with Paul Heyman first aligning with the Visionary at the Show of Shows. Heyman shockingly betrayed Roman Reigns and CM Punk. During the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania, Braun Breaker shocked the world by assaulting Roman Reigns and joining the group. Not too long after, Bronson Reed returned to television and also aligned with the faction. The stable is dominant, to say the least. Unfortunately, things went awry recently. Seth Rollins battled LA Knight during the most recent edition of Saturday Night's main event. The Visionary suffered a leg injury during the bout and hasn't appeared since. It is expected that Seth will miss action for quite a while. With that being said, there is a chance that Paul Heyman will recruit someone to replace Seth. While most names on Raw are unlikely thanks to the vast majority of the roster becoming enemies of the group, the Hall of Famer could recruit from SmackDown. This article will look at 4 stars from the Blue brand who could be recruited to replace Seth. Below are 4 WWE SmackDown superstars whom Paul Heyman could scout and replace Seth Rollins with. 4. Montez Ford could finally go solo. The Street Profits are one of the most popular tag teams in all of pro wrestling. The team is made up of Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins. As a duo, they've held the WWE Tag Team titles, Raw Tag Team titles, SmackDown Tag Team titles, NXT Tag Team titles, and Evolve Tag Team titles. For a long time, WWE fans have believed that Montez Ford could and should go solo. There is a belief that he can break out as a single star, but for now, this has not yet happened. That could change thanks to Paul Heyman, however. The Oracle could see the untapped potential in Montez and recruit him. This could then lead to Ford becoming a top heel on Monday Night Raw. This would also save fans from a proper Street Profits split in case the company decides to reunite the duo down the line. Dawkins can instead focus on his solo career on SmackDown. 3. Jacob Fatu replacing Seth Rollins would be fascinating. Jacob Fatu is a dangerous performer. Even before joining WWE, he held numerous titles. Since debuting in the promotion, the Samoan Werewolf has held both the United States Championship and Tag Team Gold. Currently, Fatu is going to war with the MFT. Solo Sikoa leads the group and recently captured the United States title from Jacob at WWE Night of Champions. The faction also features Tala Tonga, JC Mateo, and Tonga Loa. Given that Paul Heyman and Jacob Fatu were together briefly in the New Bloodline, there is an obvious connection there. Jacob might be intrigued about leading a stable in the company for the first time, as opposed to having to listen to Solo's directions or go solo. 2. Drew McIntyre is already a top heel. Drew McIntyre is one of WWE's top stars. He is a multi-time world champion, a former tag team champion, and a former NXT champion. McIntyre has also won the Royal Rumble and even the Money in the Bank ladder match. The Scottish Psychopath has a disappointing match for WWE SummerSlam. He will be teaming up with Logan Paul to take on country musician Jelly Roll and Randy Orton. To wash away the less than ideal booking, Drew could shockingly become the leader of Paul Heyman's group. This could then set up a feud between the Visionary and the Scottish Warrior once Seth heals up and is ready to return. 1. Carmelo Hayes could be elevated to the next level in WWE. Carmelo Hayes is an incredible pro wrestler on WWE Friday Night SmackDown. Prior to being called up last year, Melo managed to win both the NXT Championship and the North American Championship while on the developmental brand. The A champion has been lost in the shuffle on WWE SmackDown. He won the 2025 Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, but once The Miz left television, so did Melo. He returned on SmackDown this past weekend, but ultimately lost to Damian Priest by disqualification. Carmelo Hayes is far too good to be lost in the shuffle, especially in the middle of the card. Paul Heyman could and should recruit Hayes to replace Seth Rollins and finally push Melo up the card. Ken is an American writer and host who started with Sportskeeda in May of 2022. He has several years of writing experience on other platforms prior to joining Sportskeeda, where he covered pro wrestling news. On Sportskeeda, Ken does a variety of projects, but is primarily tasked with listicles, trends and features, and live coverage of WWE events. He has interviewed pro wrestling personalities on his Armbars and Sidebars project. He's spoken to both wrestlers and personalities who have been seen in World Wrestling Entertainment, Ring of Honor, TNA Wrestling, and beyond. Ken has been a fan of professional wrestling for as far back as he can remember, long before covering the industry became his profession. With Seth Rollins currently on the sidelines due to injury, the WWE landscape is bracing for a major shake-up. Rollins, a cornerstone of the company, has not only been a workhorse but also a creative focal point. His absence leaves a significant void, one that someone with Paul Heyman's influence and strategic mind could look to fill. Known for identifying the next big thing, Heyman might set his eyes on a new prodigy, especially from SmackDown, to either manage, manipulate, or align with as a replacement for Seth Rollins. Here are 4 WWE SmackDown superstars whom Paul Heyman could potentially scout to replace Seth Rollins and mold into his next great project. 1. Carmelo Hayes, the prodigy who speaks Heyman's language. Carmelo Hayes has quickly made a name for himself with his charisma, technical skills, and undeniable confidence. He famously says, "I am him," and that level of bravado is exactly the kind of persona Heyman gravitates toward. From an analytical standpoint, Hayes checks many boxes Rollins once did when he transitioned from NXT to main roster prominence. His matches are consistently high quality, his mic skills are sharp, and his ego, though still fresh, is ripe for Heyman's manipulative touch. Heyman is known to cultivate stars who are hungry, daring, and slightly egotistical. Much like he did with Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, and CM Punk, Heyman could position Hayes as a disruptor in the SmackDown hierarchy. With Rollins gone, a vacuum for a flashy, arrogant, but elite-level performer is wide open. Hayes, paired with Heyman's guidance, could ascend rapidly and create a new identity for SmackDown. 2. Grayson Waller, the provocative showman with untapped potential. Grayson Waller may be the most Paul Heyman guy on SmackDown right now without the official title. He's brash, loud, unapologetic, and obsessed with the spotlight, all qualities Heyman admires in a top heel. While Waller has proven himself as a talk show host and tag team competitor alongside Austin Theory, he hasn't yet reached the singles main event level. This is where Heyman could come in. He could mold Waller into a breakout star with layered storytelling, allowing him to transcend comedy and fully embrace his inner venom. Imagine Heyman calling Waller the next disruptor or the man with more charisma than any other in the locker room. It would give Waller credibility with older fans and amplify his existing connection with the audience. Replacing Rollins, a beloved yet cocky figure, with someone as obnoxiously overconfident as Waller would be a bold move, and one that Heyman could orchestrate masterfully. 3. Solo Sikoa, the ruthless enforcer ready for leadership. Though Solo Sikoa is currently tied to the Bloodline saga, his character has evolved dramatically in recent months. With Roman Reigns absent and the family faction in disarray, there's a golden opportunity for Heyman to pivot. Instead of staying loyal to Roman Reigns, Heyman could abandon ship and declare Solo Sikoa as the true future of WWE. He could reframe Solo not just as the enforcer but as the heir to the throne. By aligning with Heyman, Solo would gain a mouthpiece to balance out his silent intensity, similar to how Brock Lesnar's quiet demeanor was contrasted by Heyman's verbal assaults. Replacing Rollins with Solo would be a complete shift in style, from flamboyant architect to cold, calculated destroyer. This contrast could redefine SmackDown's tone. With Heyman managing Solo's PR while Sikoa continues to dismantle opponents physically, the duo would present a chilling combination. Also, imagine Heyman dropping promos calling Solo the man who doesn't need words to conquer kingdoms. It would give Solo legitimacy as a world title contender. 4. LA Knight, the anti-hero who could turn with Heyman's influence. LA Knight has skyrocketed in popularity over the past year. With his catchphrase and natural connection with the crowd, many fans have likened his rise to that of Attitude Era legends. However, there's an undercurrent to his character, a cocky edge, that Paul Heyman could exploit. If WWE wants to pull the trigger on a surprise heel turn, aligning LA Knight with Heyman would be a shocking yet compelling move. Heyman could justify the turn by saying Knight was tired of being held back despite his popularity, a narrative that would echo real-life frustrations. As a performer, Knight has the confidence, experience, and mic skills to thrive under Heyman's tutelage. If Seth Rollins can no longer serve as the face of resilience and swagger in WWE, LA Knight, albeit more rugged and brawler-like, could carry that torch in a new direction. Plus, with Heyman amplifying Knight's promos, the heel heat could be nuclear. The idea of Knight turning on the fans and blaming them for his lack of title shots would resonate deeply and draw strong reactions. Why Paul Heyman is the X Factor. Paul Heyman is more than a manager, he's a strategist, a manipulator, and a storyteller. Over the years, he's helped reshape careers from the ground up. From ECW's rebellious spirit to Brock Lesnar's dominance and Roman Reigns' tribal chief transformation, Heyman has a proven history of elevating stars into legends. Seth Rollins, while never directly managed by Heyman, has shared similar qualities to Heyman's guys: fearless, talkative, boundary-pushing. With Rollins sidelined, Heyman may be looking for someone with those same qualities or someone with untapped potential that he can unleash in the absence of a major star. Whether he seeks a brash upstart like Hayes or Waller, a silent destroyer like Sikoa, or a fan-favorite turned villain like LA Knight, Heyman has options. The SmackDown roster is brimming with talent, and with his guidance, any of these four superstars could fill the vacuum Rollins has left behind. Final thoughts. Seth Rollins' absence is undoubtedly a blow to WWE programming. But as always, when one door closes, another opens. Paul Heyman's history of guiding and elevating talent puts him in the perfect position to scout a new face to replace Rollins. Whether it's someone already teetering on greatness or a sleeper pick ready for breakout success, Heyman's touch could change everything. Carmelo Hayes, Grayson Waller, Solo Sikoa, or LA Knight each brings something unique to the table. Under Heyman's mentorship, any one of them could rise to become not just Rollins' replacement, but the next face of the company.